Yo, gentlemen's game back. So the other day, a subscriber left a comment on a post saying, "Please do a video for introverts who have a hard time getting girls. I am one of them. I think that your videos are mostly for extroverted men who find it easy to talk and flirt with total strangers." This was actually a topic I've been meaning to do a video on for a while now, so why not now? People, or I should almost say society, seems to have this idea that the only way to be successful with women is to be this smooth, outgoing, extroverted guy. That if you're an introvert, you're not gonna have much success in dating because shy guys just aren't as charismatic or cool. But in actuality, that's simply not true. So to illustrate this point, I'm gonna use an analogy I think most guys should be able to appreciate: sports. There's a bunch of different sports I could use, but I'm gonna pick basketball since it's my favorite. In basketball, conventional wisdom says that you have to be very tall, very athletic, and strong in order to be a good basketball player. Think of someone like LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time, who's insanely athletic and powerful and is able to dominate the game physically. Over the past few years, however, this idea is slowly starting to be challenged, and I'd say that the player who led this paradigm shift is another player, Stephen Curry. A player who, by NBA standards, is quite short, with below average athleticism and strength. A player who most dominant NBA stars would scoff at if they never met him before. And yet, Stephen Curry has become one of the greatest point guards of all time, winning as many championships as the great LeBron James, and revolutionized the sport. And he did this by maximizing his natural abilities. You see, despite his physical handicaps, he trained his skills every day to become one of the best ball handlers of all time and the greatest shooter of all time. The reason Steph Curry is able to succeed in a tough sport like basketball, despite not having the natural physical gifts of other players like LeBron, is because he embraced who he was with his unique strengths and weaknesses. He knew that he'd never be a physical freak of nature athletically, so he dominated the game through polishing other aspects of his skill. And it's actually kind of a similar idea when it comes to talking to girls. You don't have to be this super extroverted, outgoing guy to be popular with the ladies, even though that's what conventional wisdom says. There are many paths to victory. Introverts can 100% be successful and charismatic with women. They just have to learn how to maximize their unique strengths. I'll give you another, more direct example to prove my point. Take two different but equally successful and loved actors, Robert Downey Jr. and Keanu Reeves. On one hand, you have Robert Downey Jr., who seems more of a smooth-talking, charismatic guy. He definitely fits the more extroverted mold, the life of the party. On the other hand, you have Keanu Reeves, someone who's definitely more introverted. In fact, in most interviews with Keanu, he seems to exude this low energy but zen-like presence. You can just tell that he's the kind of guy who prefers spending his nights in peace, maybe reading a book over a cup of tea or something like that, based on the way he speaks. And yet, Keanu Reeves is still universally adored by millions of people worldwide. In fact, it's probably a meme how much everyone loves Keanu. He has this kind of honest awkwardness about him, yet he's still magnetically charismatic, someone who could easily attract women. Okay, so now that we've proven introverts can be just as attractive as extroverts, let's talk about some specific ways that introverts can maximize their strengths to attract girls. So number one is listening. A common strength I see in introverts is that they're very good listeners, especially in one-on-one situations. Because they're less inclined to talk to lots and lots of people, when they do decide to engage with someone, they give them all their attention. This is actually a skill that's super useful in one-on-one situations with a girl, like on a date or meeting someone through a friend. When introverts with good listening skills get themselves into these one-on-one situations with the opposite sex, they tend to come across as very patient and attentive. When done correctly, girls will think, "Wow, this guy is such a good listener. Having his attention on me feels good. I want to see him again." Number two, presence. Most introverts emphasize communication through body language instead of vocal power. That's why introverts who learn to embrace who they are very often exude this quiet, zen-like confidence and presence. Again, think back to Keanu. When he talks to someone, his eye contact is always super on point, and you notice he'll always use lots of hand gestures when expressing himself. In other words, he learned how to overcome whatever lack in verbal skills he had by instead leaning more on using his body language. This is why people say that when they meet Keanu, he has this magical, calm presence that just mesmerizes you. You're drawn into his charisma, his world. And considering that over 70% of communication is done with body language instead of words, this actually might be more effective in building attraction than just being a smooth talker if you know how to properly use it. Using body language effectively to flirt is a whole topic unto itself, which I'll cover in a separate video. But the main point is that if you're an introvert, you have to learn to embrace this in order to find your unique charismatic style of body language. This way, you're going to be able to filter out and find the girls who prefer more quiet guys who are calm and collected over guys who are more loud and extroverted. Because here's something you probably already know. People are different. Yes, some girls prefer douchey, frat boy type of guys who banter, but you're also going to have girls who are the opposite. After all, why is it a cliche that girls have a thing for the strong but silent type? Number 3, authenticity. Another thing introverts do well when it comes to dating is that they seem very authentic. They're often very thoughtful because they're so introspective all the time, so their authenticity really shines through. An example is my friend Andy. He's definitely an introvert, a mechanical engineer that loves to play Dota in his spare time. And yet, whenever I manage to drag him out to the bars with me, I notice he doesn't let his introversion stop him from succeeding socially at all. He's completely unapologetic about who he is and his quirky interests, and girls can sense this authenticity right away. He treats everyone with respect, but can also speak for himself. Because of this, girls will tell me all the time how charming Andy is. Since, as an introvert, Andy is still able to just be himself and is totally comfortable in his own skin, he seems different from all the other loud guys at the bar, thumping on their chest, trying to impress everyone. Andy actually got into a relationship not too long ago with a total sweetheart, so good for him. Okay, so the last one. Number 4. Mystery. It's naturally a lot harder to tell what an introvert is thinking since they don't express themselves as transparently as extroverts do. This is actually something that you as an introvert can use to your advantage. You see, one of the basic tenets of attraction is that people, but especially women, don't like feeling like they have a guy all figured out. If she already knows everything there is to know about a guy, if he's made himself that transparent to her, she'll be bored and turned off. That's something that guys who constantly wear their emotions on their sleeve need to understand. Though most girls would never admit it, they enjoy that thrill of slowly getting to find out more about someone that they find attractive. They like the chase, and makes it that much more rewarding in the end. I mean, how many romance movies have you heard of where the guy is some mysterious bad boy who slowly starts to open up to the girl, and then they finally fall in love? See, girls kind of think in that blueprint. They can't resist an attractive man who's mysterious at first, then slowly starts to show her more attention and open up to her over time. It makes her feel all special and tingly inside. And if you, as an introvert, can understand this, you can use your natural quiet tendencies to actually create attraction through mystery. Okay, so to recap, being an introvert doesn't necessarily mean that you're at a disadvantage when it comes to dating. If you can embrace your strengths as an introvert, you can be just as successful as any extrovert. We talked about some specific strengths introverts have, such as their listening skills, zen-like presence, and their sense of mysteriousness. And just to be clear, this applies to introverts who have some basic level of social skills. If you're introverted to the point of severe social anxiety and you literally can't even say hi to a stranger, then you're going to need to deal with those issues first before worrying about getting girls as an introvert. So that's it for the video, guys. This was the first official video of 2020, and I hope the new year has been treating you well so far. If you're a new subscriber to this channel, thank you so much for coming along for the ride. I'm pretty sure we'll be past 50,000 by the time this video airs, which is just amazing, and I'm really looking forward to an amazing year giving you guys top-notch content. And next week, I have something special planned, so make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, peace.